Well, Cowboy Carter has dropped. I am on my fifth listen. Beyonce is a genius. All right, you white motherfuckers, all eyes on me. This is the I Refuse podcast. I had to come down from the Houston Rodeo to record this review. So here we go. It's Mr. Foxy I Refuse podcast. We riding, right? You ride with me. We gonna get on this horse, go down to the rodeo, and have some fun. No hateration, no holleration in this dancery. The day has finally arrived. Beyonce has released, what is this, her ninth album? Cowboy Carter, aka Act 2 in the Renaissance trilogy. She has told y'all this is not a country record, this is a Beyonce album. And she didn't disappoint. 27 tracks, which is the most number of tracks on a Beyonce album. She usually gives us like maybe 11, 12 songs. At the most, maybe 16. But 27 tracks. And when I got news that she was going to have not only Willie Nelson, but Dolly Parton on this album, a cover of Jolene, I was like, oh, she is definitely going to set those Country Music Award Association gatekeepers, make their face tight. And regardless of how you feel, that, oh, she clearly is doing this because she was locked out of the album of the year again at the Grammys. Like, she just started recording this album before the Grammys or something. Or she just started recording after and was just pissed. I don't think Beyonce, first of all, has to prove herself at this point. You know, it was very clear to me early on when she uprooted Parkwood and it became its own separate thing that she no longer had to record for numbers or record for favor, record for acclaim. Like, she's been a critically acclaimed artist since, her first solo album. Which is why I'm laughing sometimes, still, at y'all, for, you know, these hot takes of, oh, she's doing this to appeal to the conservatives, or she's doing this to cause discourse with, you know, the country music people. And it's like, she already did that, which the rest of us learned that we're still not welcome at country music. And it's like, that's weird because Beyonce's from Houston. For most of her grade school years, every year, her and her family were a fixture at the Houston Rodeo, which is like the biggest event in Houston. Beyonce's been country. You know, all those times that y'all were cracking jokes and trying to make fun of how she speaks and you thought that she was slow and all this other stuff, Beyonce's been country. And with Cowboy Carter, it was clear from the first opening, the moment I put on the opening track, she has mastered, which isn't news, the meshing and the combination of inspirations and genres to create something even more bold than Renaissance. This is definitely an entire experience album. It's not just country that's on here, but it's also gospel, and there's a little bit of rock and roll edge. There is definitely an acoustic feel. There's definitely a pop power balladry influence kind of thing to it. And of course she is going to have some country instrumentation throughout, but it's still very much Beyonce. All of this is Beyonce. Album hasn't even been out 10 hours. And people are like, it's trash. And it's like, it is very much possible to be pro-black or appreciate what Beyonce represents without feeling like she is trying to play to a particular audience that you feel socially is against people that look like her. Missing the point that being an artist means you could experiment and do whatever you wish. And we're talking about somebody that her first 3 or 4 albums, she went from being the Destiny's Child girl to being an international star, while still being herself. She's done the big numbers, she's done the up-tempo, she's done the power ballads, she's done everything adult contemporary across those first 3 or 4 albums, right? Now, in this stage in her career, she can do whatever she wants. And I know we are knee deep in, it's this way or that way. You can't look like us and be, giving this impression that you're trying to play in their favor. And it's like, it's going to catch on. A lot of people theorized it was going to flop without even knowing the details. And that's a reflection of your own bias against Beyonce. But I put on American Requiem, first track. I was like, ooh. Very strong, very great opening. I can only imagine how many times she went to the studio to do each layer of the vocals. Because if there's one thing that Beyonce will do, is she will make her own choir with her voice. She can do the alto, the tenor, the soprano, and maybe the contralto. Blend them all together and it sounds like a whole room. So I was like, ooh, this is really good. This is really good. Blackbird, she has Brittany Spencer, Raina Roberts, Tanner Adele, who I feel like she's up next. People are missing another point of the album, is that she's reaffirming, that country music really started with us. She's got Linda Martell on here, who was the first Black artist to play at the Grand Ole Opry. Another space that, they gatekeep over there. But moving on, she has brought either part of the backing band or other musicians who are black female country instrumentalists, black country female artists on this album. Blackbird, cover of the Beatles song. Oh, it was so good. It's one of my favorites. 16 Characters, of course, we've all heard that. Protector with Rooney. Oh, wow. Anytime I hear any of her kids on a record, I'm just like, please stop trying to make me cry. Like, it's just so cute. She's like, Mommy, sing that song I like. My Rose, Smoke Hour, Willie Nelson, Texas Hold'em, we've all heard. Now, here is where we get to a song that is a total vibe. This is my first favorite. Bodyguard. I can see me with coming down the street with my windows rolled down, sunroof open, playing Bodyguard after leaving the club. After coming back from DC. Coming back from DC. I was like, if I had a ponytail, I'd be whipping it. I'd be like doing this, like I got some titties. I was like, she didn't have to do this, but she did. At first, when I first saw the track listing, I was like, having Bodyguard, Dolly P, and Jolene back to back, I feel like you sending some signs, girl. Bodyguard's a vibe. Dolly P had her voicemail. And for Dolly Parton to call Jolene a hussy, I screamed through my apartment ceiling. I was like, see. So not only is Jolene a cover on this album, but it's almost like a continuation from Don't Hurt Yourself. You know, when she ended that song with You Gonna Lose Your Wife. And Jolene, I feel like it's on that same, in the same universe. Because, you know, Beyonce added her own little flavor to it. Even dropped the B word, I think. I was like, see. So, Bodyguard, Jolene, love it. Daughter is cute. Spaghetti. Spaghetti has to be the bangiest, trappiest, most ignorant song on the album. Like, just what I needed. I thought we were going to have a track on here called H-Town Hussy, and I felt like then that was going to be my song. If I had a lady bean, it would be throbbing right now. But for Spaghetti, that's another favorite of mine. So we're probably about 12 tracks in. Some of them are interludes. So probably like 6 songs. I already got 2 favorites. Alligator Tears. Very, very cute. Again, the vocals. And by the way, like, to have Linda Martell on your record a couple of times, and out your album a couple times, like, I love that we have that. Honestly, did not know who Linda Martell was before the track listing came out. And shame on me, but if nothing else, Beyonce's going to use her name and her artistry to give you hoes a history lesson. Smoke Hour 2, another interlude, just for fun. Like this is like cute. These are cute records. But baby, nothing on this album so far could have prepared me for Beyonce's duet with Miley Cyrus on Two Most Wanted. And Beyonce let Miley Cyrus take the first lyric. And they went back and forth. And when I tell you, like, Miley Cyrus on a ballad or Miley Cyrus on a down tempo song, where, and then on top of that, her voice is front and center, like her voice is in the front. Some powerful shit. Miley Cyrus, your latest album, Perfection. And I was like, I don't know where you been. I didn't come into the bangers era and that whole thing, but I realized she had to do something to shed that Hannah Montana thing. But baby, Two Most Wanted, and the last year or so that Miley Cyrus has been doing music, putting out music, what the fuck? I wanted more of Two Most Wanted. Like another verse, instrumental break, because their two voices together, beautiful. And I know that Beyonce doesn't do a lot of duets. And when I say duets, you take a couple lyrics, I do a couple lyrics, you do a verse, I do a verse, we sing the bridge together. Like it's not like, oh, I already have the song together, I just take out the middle part and you do it. Or you do a bridge, or you do a break at the end, like a full-fledged duet. Two Most Wanted. Like if that's not in a couple of Grammy categories next year, I will knock all this shit over. And then right after that, she got a song with Post Malone, Levi's Jeans. Now, Post Malone is definitely a chameleon. I give it up to him. Like, y'all thought he was just going to be a rapper his whole career. This motherfucker got a guitar. This motherfucker done cleaned up his voice, cleaned up his nasal passages, and said, look, I'm going to do a Conway Twitty inspired rebrand where I'm going to go from not just a rap and a pop musician, but a musician. Get more vulnerable. Now I'm on an album with Beyonce, and it's another duet. Like, Beyonce's mind, man. Like, her mind, something else. Like, some of the cleanest records, and when I say clean, like, clear and unfiltered, and the lyrics are vulnerable, and the lyrics are telling a story, and there's no, like, thrills, it's just bare bones. That's what I mean. Levi's Jeans gives me that. Two Most Wanted gives me that. Alligator Tears, Daughter, and mixed in with some of the bangiest music that she has ever recorded. And it's so good. Like, it's so good. Flamenco and interlude, the Linda Martell Show and interlude, Yaya, song with the edge, the rock edge. If there's one thing I know Beyonce will do is tie in from one album into the next era. And Yaya, I can definitely see some Tina Turner experience there. Strategic, very, very smart. Oh, Louisiana, another interlude, Desert Eagle. I would have. So there are some at this point in the album, I can see that Beyonce just cannot cannot refrain from doing her rhythmic singing, kind of rapping kind of thing, which I love her for. Desert Eagle, I feel like that could have been like a Carter's album-esque kind of country rap. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a remix of Desert Eagle featuring Meg. Because you know, Beyonce doesn't ever slow down. Like Beyonce has not sat down since 1990. Like this album is out, and then I wouldn't be surprised if like a couple of remixes and a couple of new songs come out leading up to the tour. I feel like there will be definitely a couple of remixes from this album featuring Meg Thee Stallion, maybe Glorilla, maybe Sexy Red. I don't know. Like that's one girl that's having a time, okay? Riverdance and Two Hands to Heaven. Ooh. It's like this girl really knows how to pull you from inside out with those two records. Tyrant, Sweet, Honey Buckland, and Amen. You want to talk about a 1, 2, 3 closer? First of all, Sweet Honey Buckland took me through the paces because you want to talk about Beyonce cannot refrain from doing a blend track. Like Sweet Honey Buckling, like Plastic on the Sofa on the previous album, like Mine from Self-Titled, let's see what else. 6 Inch from Lemonade, where it starts off like one thing and then it just kind of takes you through almost cinematically. That's what Sweet Honey Buckling is doing. And I don't know what this Uber thing is doing. I don't know what is going to come out of that. But at this point, like, we got to get a movie. This album needs visuals. We let it slide with Renaissance, but Cowboy Carter needs visuals. Because Sweet Honey Buckling, ma'am, that has short film written all over it. You heard it here. Amen. Amen. And then for it to like just seamlessly blend into the opening track, nasty work. Nasty, nasty work. But you know what you're doing, Beyonce. I give this album a solid 9 out of 10. I had to take a break to record for The Usual Suspects. Episode is out now on wherever you get your podcasts. That's a podcast with me and Abstract Sagittarius, one of my best girlfriends. Episodes out monthly. I had to come down from Cowboy Carter to do that. Went back to Cowboy Carter. Played the album 2 more times. Took a break. Came back. Give y'all a review. Beyonce doesn't miss. And it's weird that, like, weird but not surprising, that black people are already like, this album is trash. Which is just a reflection of your lack of range and taste, really. Because, you know, we did start other genres besides rap and R&B. It's clear y'all want Beyonce to be still the DC3, DC4 Beyonce, still the Dangerously in Love Beyonce, still that B-Day Beyonce. It was almost 20 years ago. It's okay to give other genres a try and, you know, read up on history and have a little context. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I mean, I was already hooked the moment American Requiem came on. But baby, by the time Bodyguard came on, I was like, okay, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Let's go. I heard Dolly Parton's voice. I was like, yes. Daughter, spaghetti. I was like, okay, I'm up to my knees, up to my thighs. 2 months wanted. I'm like, okay, I'm up to my shoulders right now. And I'm going to be playing this the whole weekend. And this will be the only place you'll get the review. I'm not going to talk about it on Monday's episodes. You know, the I Refuse podcast on Spotify and Apple. We drop an episode every Monday. I'm not going to do a review over there. This will be the only review you get. Yeah, so 8 or 9 out of 10 for me for Cowboy Carter. I know she's going to piss off a lot of people the rest of this year that really don't see it for Black people in country music or in country music spaces. Even though you come to predominantly African-American cities and neighborhoods for our money. Interesting. But Beyonce is going to make it known. And 2024 is the year. This is Miss Fox, I Refuse podcast. I'll catch you guys later. Stream and support Cowboy Carter, the I Refuse podcast, and all of our spinoffs, wherever you get your podcasts, and this YouTube channel. We love Cowboy Carter over here. You know, this is nasty work, Beyonce. We know what you're doing, and we love it. Keep it coming. And we'll catch you guys later. Bye. Fendi, like the bag. This is the I Refuse podcast.